thomas@moord.net, Hoofstuk 14. And in this hoofstuk, we get more information and we learn about Robinson and Miller. Who is that? Thomas wakes up in his room and his cheek and throat hurts. Thomas sees that Nicholas Miller is in his room and he's got a small hammertjie, a hammer in his hand. Louisa is also in the room with a rope around her neck, a touw om haar nek, and her right hand is on a cushion. Haar hand is op 'n geborduurde kussen. There is a man sitting next to Louisa with a knife, a mes in sy hand. Nicholas tells Thomas that the man is his brother, sy broer Michael. Thomas asks Nicholas what he wants. Nicholas says that what he wanted was for Thomas om sy pa te vertel van die spooke in sy kamer. He wanted Thomas to tell his dad about the ghosts in his room, the footsteps that he heard, and the voices, etc. En dan sou Thomas bang word, and that Thomas would get scared, that Louisa hysteries sou raak, Louisa would go get hysterical, en dan dat hulle uit die huis sou trek, and then they would move out of the house. Thomas is shocked to hear that it was Nicholas and his brother doing all these things just to scare him. Nicholas starts to tell Thomas a story about a ryk Engelse mynmagnaat. But it was not Stanley Robinson. His name was Nick Miller Mackay. He traveled the world and looked after the interests of the mines he owned. He had a good partner, Stanley Robinson, but he had to share all his profits. Hy moes sy wins deel with Robinson and his family. He, Nick, heard about a gold mine closing in South Africa. A goudmyn in Suid-Afrika wat sluit. Remember, they lived in England. The owners of the mine didn't know about a thick gold reef that was still there, a dik goudrif. Nick wanted to buy the mine the gold, go back to England as the richest man in England. But Robinson found out, that uitgevind, and he wanted to pickle along. But Miller didn't want to share, remember? The only way was something had to happen to make Robinson stay at home. The murder of Sarah Beth's mother, Sarah Beth's ma. Here, Thomas learns that Nicholas or his brother, they were the ones who stole his bag on the street earlier. Nicholas says that Nick wanted to send Robinson a message. One would think that if you find your wife strangled and her hand cut off on a pillow with a gold coin in it, that it would scare Robinson, but no. He got on the first ship to South Africa. In South Africa, he became friends with British officials. The first time he got to the Transvaal, he fell in love with the place and the people. And he also gave money to the boere during the war, gedurende of tydens die oorlog. Money that him and Miller made from the mines. Robinson was a smart, educated man, and he started to documenteer everything he did. No one knew this. They only found out later when he was hospitalized in the institution. He started to take Sarah Beth with him to the mines. Hy vat haar na die myne. En hy vertrou haar ook met sy donkerste geheime. He trusted her with his darkest secrets. Also the one with where he hid 100,000 gold coins, waar hy die goue muntstukke versteek het. Well, according to Nicholas, it is in Thomas' kamer, in Thomas's room. They didn't have enough time to search for it with all the people working in the house. But it is there. Sarah Beth told Nick Miller Mackay, sy oupa, his grandpa, just before he killed her. And this is when Thomas realizes that Nicholas Miller is die klein seun, the grandson of Nick Miller Mackay. Thomas sees Louisa looking very uncomfortable on the floor and he feels so sorry for her. He asks Nicholas if he can give her a pillow. Nicholas agrees. Thomas puts a pillow behind her head and he takes his duvet from his bed and he puts it over her body. Okay guys, I hope that this helped you. Please have a look at my other videos in this playlist of Thomas at moord.net. Goodbye.